Hello student, as you all know that the bacterial wilt is one of the most devastating disease in Solanus plant. Here I have a brinjal plant. Okay. Today morning farmer from Kharsar village brought the sample of the brinjal wilt to me for perfect diagnosis of the disease, that what actually goes with this plant. Okay, then we identified and some microscopic examination we have performed, and we come to conclusion on that this plant the plant survive as a bacterial disease. So you can see here the brinjal plant. Okay, you can see the characteristic symptoms of bacterial wilt on most of the host are sudden bleeding. That is the main characteristic symptoms of the bacterial wilt. Okay, sudden bleeding and death of the infected plant. And the petioles of the older leaves of the infected plants droop down without yellowing. You can see here that the petioles directly bacterial wilt directly affect on the petioles, and leaves show epinasty. Okay, here you can see the epinasty, that means the downwards bending of the leaves. Okay, that we have seen our previous lecture. So the leaves show epinasty symptoms accompanied by the yellowing and stunting of the whole plant. You can see the yellowing and stunting of whole plant. Then when now I am going to split one stem. Okay, see, I split the stem of the brinjal crop, and here typical browning of vascular tissue. You can see a very clear cut symptoms you can see here of roots and stems. Okay, now I will do some bacterial oozing test by taking one beaker which is full of water. So then I put this stem in this water. You can see after some times bacteria release from this infected tissue. You can see the bacteria release from, that is called ooze test. Okay, ooze. We have already seen in our lecture. Okay, you can see the age now. Bacteria released from the cutted portion. And after some times this water get turbid and the color change from white to creamish in color. Okay, see the whitish or creamish ooze by the bacteria. So you can see the oozing of bacteria. When I jerking of this stem inside the water, see the bacteria released from the infected stem. See, then after performing a ooze test, we isolate this disease sample on the potted agar medium, and we found that the bacterial colony on it. Okay, here is the bacterial colony of the Gastrostonus solanacearum. Okay, the bacterium is gram negative, rod shape, and we have already seen in our lecture that it is frequently occurs in pairs and motile, and with 1 to 4 polar flagella. Okay, so in tomato we have seen that in India race 1 and 3 and BioVar 2, 3 and 4 are prevalent. Okay, so here is the bacterial colony, you can see. So the pathogen is both soil and seed borne in nature and overwinter in infected plant parts, okay, in potato tubers or in wild horse plant or solanous weed, and can survive at least 2 to 3 years in absence of any host. Okay, when there is no any when there is a main crop is not in a field crop, it survive up to 2 to 3 years, okay, in the absence of the main host. Okay, so the injured and decaying infected tissue release bacteria. Injured and decaying tissue release bacteria in the soil, which enter plants through wounds. As you all know, the bacteria mostly enter in the plant by lenticels, hydrothores, a natural opening like stomata. Okay, so through wounds occurring in roots due to cultural pectitis, nematodes and insects. And relatively high soil moisture and soil temperature favors the disease. Okay, student, this is all about the bacterial wilt of brinjal and tomato. Now and onwards, I will collect this kind of plant disease sample from farmers field and our research farm area, and try to make this kind of video for your better understanding about the plant disease. Okay, and put this video in your WhatsApp group for practical purpose. Okay. As far as the management is concerned, for the management of the brinjal wilt, bacterial wilt, it is very difficult in control because this bacteria is soil-borne in nature. Okay, not only in bacteria but whatever the causal agent which are the soil-borne in nature, they all are difficult to control. Okay, for that you have to follow complete integrated disease management practices. Follow for that. Okay, so first of all you have to do one thing, that plant the brinjal or sow the brinjal in disease-free area. Okay, so for that when you grow brinjal in disease-free area, so it ultimately it reduce the inoculum load or population of the bacteria in soil condition. Okay, another way to control this disease to follow the long crop rotation with a non-horse crop to directly reduce the disease incidence in field condition. Okay, then after use the resistant variety, which is a very easiest and simple way to and most promising way to control the bacterial wilt of brinjal. Then after a point must be keep in your mind that your nursery should not be located in the field which is a history of bacterial wilt of brinjal. Okay, and it is also recommended the soil fumigation fumigate or soil solarization, soil solarized nursery soil for the 15 days prior to sowing. Then another way to manage this disease to prevent the spread of the pathogen. Okay, once you prevent the spread of the pathogen, it directly effect on the reduce the bacterial load, okay, in soil. So infected plants should be removed and destroyed, and also the infected portion of the field should be isolated if possible by preventing the water flow from one area to another area or from disease area to healthy area. Okay, so the movement also point to be noted that the movement of the people and machinery should also be limited, okay, where your crop is standing. Okay, then reduce the pathogen load in infected field. This one is the important, how to reduce the pathogen load in infected field. Once introduced into the field, like Ralstonia solarium, once they introduced into your field, are very difficult to eradicate. But the pathogen population load can be reduced by using various management way, like fumigation, crop rotation, flooding, okay, growing marigold and some brassicae family plants, okay, then application of organic manure and biological control. Okay, so by application of this kind of methodology, you can directly reduce the pathogen load in field condition. Okay, so for that, the fumigation with chemical like methyl bromide or metham sodium, which is mostly useful in the control of the nematode. Okay, so you can also use in your nursery area for effectively management of this disease. Then also flooding the field for 1 to 3 weeks before planting will reduce the bacterial wilt pathogen. Okay, then growing marigold, which is called as a biofumigant for the nematode, and it is also effect on the bacterial load in the soil. And growing brassica species plant and incorporating the plants in the soil and flowering stage will reduce the bacterial wilt incidence. Okay, so application of organic manure like farmyard manure and poultry manure in every year will increase the beneficial soil microflora and reduce the bacterial wilt incidence. Then last but not the least, but biocontrol agent is very effective for this bacterial wilt. So in nursery application, treat the seeds with the talc-based formulation of Pseudomonas fluorescens or Pseudomonas fluorescens, which is antagonistic in nature. And this one, the dose will be 10 gram per 100 gram of seeds. Okay, when you take 100 gram seeds, the dose will be 10 gram of Pseudomonas fluorescens. Okay, then in soil application, the Pseudomonas fluorescens is you have to take 50 gram mixed with 1 kg of the soil or farmyard manure and incorporate in the nursery bed. Okay, and however, the in main field, okay, while you go for the main field management, dip the seedling in the antagonistic Pseudomonas fluorescens or Bacillus subtilis, also a good one for the management of this disease. It is a 25 gram talc formulation per liter of water. Okay, but 25 gram is enough for liter of water. Then 20 to 30 minutes just before transplanting. Yeah, you have to apply this Pseudomonas fluorescens for 20 to 30 minutes just before transplanting. The leftover solution should be drenched around the root zone, or 50 ml per plant. It will be the 50 ml per plant. And while you talk about the chemical control, streptocycline plus COC is proved to be best for the management of this disease. Okay, if this bacterial wilt is bacterial seen under the field condition, make the solution of copper oxychloride at the rate of 30 gram and streptocycline sulfate at the rate of 1 gram in 10 liter of water, and directly drench as well as foliar spray for the effectively management of the disease. Now I hope that you understand about the disease, symptoms, favorable condition, disease cycle, and management practices. If you don't understand about this, or if you don't understand the terminology of the plant pathology, okay, then feel free to contact me in my personal WhatsApp. Okay, bye.